What's going on, everybody? My name is Monatui, coach of the Tampa Bay Luxrays, and today we are going to be going over our Week 10 team analysis for the PPL Division 2. If you guys don't know what the Pokemon Premier League is, please check the description below. There will be a link to their Twitter and YouTube channel, as well as a link to my opponent's YouTube channel. Chaos in the Sky 13 is who we are playing against, coach of the Boston Brelooms. Please check him out. He uploads multiple times per day. He's got a couple different Let's Plays going, some Pokemon, mostly not, but very interesting Let's Player, so check him out. We're going to go over his team real quick. And I warn you, brace yourself for this team. Victini, Shaman, Rotom Wash, Gardevoir, Donphan, Tyrantrum, Scizor, Dusknoir, and Ambipom. This is possibly the best team I've ever seen in my life. The best roster, I should say. He's got Victini, Shaman, Rotom Wash as a Fire, Water, Grass core. Ooh. All three of those are going to be annoying, particularly Victini and Shaman. Gardevoir is a great Pokemon, extremely good move pool, can hit my entire team pretty hard. Donphan is something that can stop my Excadrill, same with Dusknoir. Tyrantrum, just, if that thing is Life Orb, I have no switch into it whatsoever. It doesn't even have to be banded, it could just be Life Orb and click Head Smash and kill pretty much everything other than Excadrill, which still takes like 25%, if that little. Scizor, this is the second time I have to face a Scizor this season, still not happy about it. Dusknoir is going to be a bigger annoyance than I think people think. And then Ambipom, which is just super fast and can still be super good, because Gunk Shot hits Togetic, it can knock off its Eviolite, it can U-turn out on things, it can knock off my Tangrowth. It just does so many different things, and his team is so versatile and so good. Building was not easy. Building was not easy at all. I think that I have made a team that can beat him, however, if I play it right. I accounted for pretty much everything he can do, and the team I brought is going to be a little bit gimmicky, if that's the right word, and it's going to be very plan-specific, meaning it's going to be hard to adapt. Yeah, I'm going to have to adapt to the situation in the battle, but for the most part, I have to stick to my plans, my one of a couple plans, because his team can really just shut me down and destroy me if I'm not careful. So without further ado, let's get into the team. We're going to start it off with Santa Christ the Tangrowth. Even though it has been a complete disappointment every time I've ever brought it this season, we're bringing it back. Because this is the second time we faced a Scizor, although the last time I believe it was a Mega Scizor, we're going to be doing a... Actually, no. This is the first time we've faced a Scizor. This is the second time we'll be facing a Scizor variant, like we faced Jordinez's Mega Scizor earlier on, but we're dealing with a very similar set to deal with this Scizor than we did his Scizor. Physically defensive Assault Vest. If he is not banded, then I will be able to take 2 U-turns. A U-turn will do under 50%, and a Bug Bite will do about 50%, but then I can switch out. If he is banded, I can still take one and hit it back with an HP Fire, as you guys can see. Giga Drain, this allows me to hit the Rotom super effectively, deals a lot of damage to the Tyrantrum. It will hit the Donphan extremely hard, just to get HP back in general as well. We have Sludge Bomb. This is primarily for the Shaman, as it should be able to 2 KO if it's not bulky. If it is bulky, it'll still do a lot of damage. Gardevoir, it will do roughly about 40% if he's a regular Gardevoir. Gardevoir does have decent special defense, so it will not take too much damage from it. But yeah, this is just a very nice thing to deal with his pivots. Like if his Scizor U-turns on me, it'll do under half if he's not banded. Rotom Wash's Volt Switch will not do too much to me because of the Assault Vest. I'm not too KO'd by a potential HP Ice from Rotom. So this is just one of the best things I have to take on his team. Also, fun fact, unless his Victini is some sort of boosting attack thing like Extra Belt or Life Orb or Choice Banded, I can live a V-Create and hit it with a knockoff. That's ridiculous because Tangrowth is just so fat. I can live a V-Create, an Adamant V-Create from Victini, as long as it is not Extra Belted or Banded or whatever. So that is going to be pretty huge because nothing really wants to deal with Victini, depending on what set it is. Next up, we are going to be going over our knockoff. just Dusknoir primarily, and because he does not have a Mega on his team, I can freely click knock off and just freely get rid of items. If he has a bulky Shaman, I'll be knocking off that thing's leftovers. Switches into Sizzler, then I'll be getting rid of that thing's item. You know, typical move. So next up, we're going to be going over our Excadrill. This is a pretty big key in beating him. This is the first game plan that I can potentially beat him with. Wear his team down enough, confirm what is scarfed and what is not scarfed, but that can potentially outspeed it, and then spam EQ to win the game. Victini goes down to Earthquake. Rotom Wash goes down to Earthquake. Gardevoir goes down to Ironhead and is KO'd by EQ after Stealth Rocks. Donphan can switch in, but it does not have recovery and will still be taking damage. Tyrantrum goes down to Earthquake. Sizzler is 2 KO'd unless it is a bulky variant. Dusknoir is an issue, but I do have Toxic for that, and I'll get into that. And Earthquake has a good chance to actually just knock out Ambipom. So, huge, huge threat. He does not have a flying type, and the only levitator he has is Rotom Wash, which I hit super effectively with the Mold Breaker. So, Earthquake and Ironhead are the only 2 attacks I need. And then after that, we got Stealth Rock. Excadrill is going to be forcing switches. If he's in with Tyrantrum, he's probably going to switch out. In with Gardevoir, he's switching out. Rotom, switching out. Victini, if he's not scarfed, he's switching out. So I can potentially set up Stealth Rocks against a lot of things. This is a very good offensive rocker. Similarly, the things he can switch out into don't appreciate being toxic. Shaman, of course, can take it because it has Natural Cure. However, if he is a bulky, like, Subseed variant, he will not be able to successfully Subseed and stall out my Pokemon because he will be poisoned. This much speed allows me to outspeed an Adamant Victini. Or no, yes, an Adamant Victini by 1 point. I'll also be outspeeding a Timid Scarf Rotom. Manaphy, well, let me continue with this. Big threat to his team. Very big. One of my biggest keys to victory, because, again, he has a lot of threats, and if I force him to sack off one of those threats, that'll be very helpful. And again, this thing could clean up late game. So its value is immeasurable, in a way. Next up, we're going to go over our Manaphy. And Manaphy, also a very big threat to his team, another potential way to beat him, depending on the team he brings. If he is a bulky Victini, for example, I'm running enough speed to outspeed an Adamant Victini. I don't want to speed tie with it necessarily, though that would be useful, but I want the extra bulk and the extra special attack. The spread is very weird, and I'll get into that in a minute. Shaman, if it is not bulky, I can one-shot with a +3 Tail Glow. If it is max Bedef, then I will not. However, I'll still be doing a very nice damage amount to it, and I will be able to click Earthquake with my Excadrill and knock it out. Rotom Wash dies to +3 Energy Ball. Gardevoir takes a lot from +3 Scald. Donphan goes down, Tyrantrum goes down, Sizzler goes down. Dusknoir and Ambipom. Ambipom can hit me because it is faster than me. Dusknoir does not appreciate +3 Scald. So this is a very big threat to his team, and because his team is not super fast, like the fastest thing is as Ambipom and then Victini Shaman as base 100s, I will be able to outspeed a lot of his Pokemon that are not Choice Scarfed. If his Victini is bulky again, I'll outspeed it and be able to kill it at +3. This has the potential to sweep through his entire team. Of course, there are still things that threaten it, like Scarf Tyrantrum Head Smash does a hell of a lot. Gardevoir can be Scarfed, hit me with Thunderbolt, and plus it is very bulky on the special side anyway, so it can take a +3 hit with a little bit of investment. Rotom could be Scarfed, hit me with the Thunderbolt Volt Switch. Shaman, if it is bulky, still does a lot with Seed Flare. So I have to be careful with this, though the Seed Flare thing with the Shaman is why I'm running Rindo Berry. The ability to take a Seed Flare and hit that thing back is going to be huge. Like if he's a Scarfed Shaman for whatever reason, I will be able to take the hit very well and then knock him out with the +3 Ice Beam. And getting rid of Shaman is huge because, again, it frees up my Excadrill, and I don't really have a super safe switch into it, bar Cupid, because also, if it is a Life Orb Shaman, it will be able to 2 KO my Tangrowth with Air Slash. I need the fully physically defensive set to deal with the Sizzler, but if it's not Life Orb, Tangrowth can take 2 Air Slashes, just to get that out of the way. Steve's online. Hi, Steve. Get out of here. Thank you. Okay, so that is Manaphy. The spread I'll go into, basically 92 special attack is what I needed to knock out Shaman if it is max HP at +3 with an Ice Beam. The 148 defense, that's just so I can take, and the 108 HP, that's just so I have enough HP to deal with special hitters and then enough physical defense to kind of take a Bolt Strike from Victini as best as I can, as well as deal with the Scizor as best as I can. I know it's a very weird EV spread. Troy, stop talking. You're interrupting my video. God damn it. Do I not have... Okay. Yep. And okay. Thank you. Sorry about that. Manaphy just at +3 can rip through his team. Gotta be careful of Scarfers, and gotta be careful of things that can not get one-shotted by this, because it is a possibility. Alright, so, next up. I was considering changing for Hariyama, because Hariyama is pretty good against his team. Switches in on Rotom. If it gets burned, I have Guts. Can potentially switch into the Shaman. If it's Thick Fat, can switch into Victini's V-Create, but I decided to go with Alakazam instead. I wanted Life Orb originally because Life Orb allows me to one-shot things like Ambipom, guarantee myself a 2 KO on Dusknoir, guarantee myself a one-shot on Tyrantrum with Psychic, and just do a lot more damage to his team in general. But there are too many things that he can potentially bring Scarfed, and there are times I'm going to need to hit things twice. For example, I'm running Protect, as you guys can see, because Ambipom's Fake Out. This is also because I do expect him to bring at least one Scarfer, similarly to against Kelly. Like Scarf Victini is possible, Scarf Rotom, things like that. I can go for Protect, see what they're locking themselves into. Psychic is for the stab, as well as hitting some things as hard as possible, hitting Tyrantrum very hard, things like that. Shadow Ball, this is so that I can 2 KO most Victini, can 2 KO most Gardevoir, can hit the Dusknoir very hard, and then Hidden Power Fire. The biggest reason I am running Focus Sash is so that I can take one Banded Bullet Punch from Scizor. If I am not Focus Sash, Bullet Punch just kills me right away. But because of the Focus Sash, I will be able to live one Bullet Punch, hit it with an HP Fire, knock it out. And Scizor, if you look at my team, just rips through. The Priority destroys my Mega. It hits my one defensive wall very hard. It hits the other, even though Tangrowth can kind of deal with it. It doesn't want to switch into a U-turn necessarily. It doesn't want to take Bug Bites. Superpower just destroys Excadrill. And then Manaphy is a big win condition. I don't want that getting worn down by U-turn and losing momentum. So it's a huge problem. And if I can just take it out with just a quick HP Fire, then that would be awesome, because I hate that thing, and it's gonna be tough, because that thing's good. This much speed allows me to outspeed Jolly Ambipom, even with the HP Fire, and then just through a little bit in defense, through 4 in HP. The rest of this doesn't really matter too much, so that's why I have that. Next up, on our team, I needed something that could deal with the Shaman. If you look in, nothing super safely switches into Shaman. If Tangrowth switches into a Seed Flare, it gets dropped to -2 special defense, it dies to an Air Slash. If he's Life Orb, Air Slash 2 KOs me anyway. So I just need a safe switch into Shaman. I need something that can give me momentum, and I decided to bring Togetic. Togetic with Seismic Toss, Toxic, Roost, Baton Pass. Seismic Toss hits his entire team other than to the Dusknoir, which I can Toxic and eventually wear down. Baton Pass allows me to get slow momentum off things like Shaman, or maybe if his Victini is locked into something like a Blue Flare, Gardevoir as well. I can take any hit from Gardevoir, Baton Pass out into something like Aerodactyl to deal with it. It's also, if he is banded and I confirm he's banded and he's locked into a bug move, I can switch it into the Scizor. Ambipom, it can knock me off and hit me with the Gunk Shot, but getting off a little bit of Seismic Toss damage guarantees that I knock it out with Excadrill, things like that, even Alakazam Psychic. So it's just a very good bulky pivot for me. I'm running kind of mixed defensive. This is so that I can take on Victini as best as possible. Like, this much Sped F means I'm not 2 KO'd by Victini's Thunder, unless he is Life Orbed. This much physical defense means I am not going down to a banded V-Create, and I can potentially Baton Pass afterwards. Or if he gets down to -2, I go Aerodactyl, or I go anything else. I can go Manaphy and start setting up things like that. And then Roost instead of Wish, because I want this thing to be around for a while. That way I can switch into the Shaman as often as I can. And with Wish, without Protect, and I need these other moves. I need Baton Pass, I need Toxic, I need Seismic Toss. Wish without Protect is not going to let me live super long. I might be able to pass the Wish to other things, but it's not going to be likely that that's going to be more useful than Roost. I want the immediate HP gain on this thing so that I can switch right back out into the Shaman, things like that. So I need Roost over Wish. It was a tough choice because I would like to get Manaphy back to full if I can, would like to get the Excadrill back to full if I can, Aerodactyl, but if I play around my offensive threats right, I should be able to keep them relatively healthy and allow Cupid to just take the hits. So that is why I'm doing that. Next up, we're going into my last Pokemon, Another Way to Win. This is another Pokemon that has a very major role in this match. 2 reasons. One, it outspeeds his entire team, even some Scarfers, and it hits pretty much everything hard with Stone Edge / my other coverage moves. And as you can see here, that's going to be my Mega Aerodactyl. Stone Edge hits his entire team neutrally other than the Donphan. It hits super effectively on the Victini. 2 KOs pretty much everything other than Bulky Rotom, Bulky Shaman, which of course I have Aerial Ace for, and the Dusknoir. Aerial Ace, this is just to hit the Shaman as hard as possible. It will be a 2 KO. Can't one-shot it because Shaman is pretty naturally bulky, but it will go down to 2. Iron Head, this is so that I can one-shot the Gardevoir and do over half to Tyrantrum. Tyrantrum does have decent physical bulk, but this allows me to 2 KO it. And then, probably a surprising move, Pursuit. Now, as I've mentioned a few times, Victini is a huge, huge problem. V-Create, Bolt Strike, you could probably tackle and this will die, and Bolt Strike / V-Create. And Bolt Strike even onto this. It just deals so much damage to my team. However, if it comes down to it, I can sack off a Pokemon to V-Create, for example. Like, sack off Tangrowth while he's locked into V-Create, or if he's locked into Blue Flare even. Come in with my Mega Aerodactyl, and if you click V-Create, he's at -1 defense, and if he switches out, he goes down to Pursuit. If he is not choiced, meaning he's not Scarfed, then he's probably going to be switching out anyway, because he does have a Rotom Wash, he does have a relatively decently safe switch-in to my Mega Aerodactyl, so he's probably going to be switching out. Meaning if I catch him with the Pursuit, that's going to be doing a very, very good chunk of damage to that Victini, and the more that Victini is damaged, the better it is. It could potentially be a sub-variant. It could be Scarfed, could be Banded, it could be Special, it could be Extra Belt. Sorry, I got hiccups. I'm not entirely sure on what it's going to run. But Pursuit is the most guaranteed way I can get damage on it, because no matter what he does, if my Aerodactyl is in with his Victini, it's going to be taking a hit. The spread here, this much speed, it's a spread I've run in the past, allows me to outspeed Scarfed base 80s. For example, Scarfed Gardevoir. I was originally just going to run enough for +1 Tyrantrum or Scarf Tyrantrum, but I just wanted to be a little bit safer in case he brings Scarf Gardevoir. It can hit my entire team relatively hard, like Thunderbolt for Manaphy, Thunderbolt for the Aerodactyl, Thunderbolt for Cupid, Focus Blast / Will-O-Wisp for you, and then you, even though I'm Assault Vest, still does not have the best special defense, so whoops. So that is why I'm running this much speed. That's going to wrap up the team builder. I'm very, very nervous for this match. We are on the cusp of promotion into D1. We have a good chance at getting to 3. We just got to get past this battle and then on to the next one. We got to get past Chaos. We got to beat this monster of a team in order to have a chance. And I think we can do it. We're in 3rd now. We can stay 3rd for the rest of the season. And if we get extra lucky, we may even rise to number 2. So, thank you guys very much for watching. Like I said earlier, please check out Chaos. Uploads a lot of different content. And that's about it. So have a nice day, everyone. Please check out the video tomorrow. That will be the battle video, and so look forward to that, and have a nice day, everyone.